And joining us tonight is John Yearwood. He is the global news editor at Politico. Appreciate you being here. The president late today expressed support of a ceasefire, but as Tom just said, that fell short of calling for an all-out truce. What role does the U.S. play right now in helping broker peace in that region?
Well, thanks for having me on. The U.S. has a major role to play. The question is how much of his capital is President Biden willing to wager on the Middle East? As you know, he's been spending a lot of his time focusing on Asia, for example. The question is whether or not he wants to spend more time now trying to solve this issue. It seems from the statement that he made earlier today that he's getting more engaged. He's gone from a situation of calm coming to the Middle East to now talking about a ceasefire. So that's an important step that he took today.
And today, the president of Turkey said that President Biden has bloody hands because of his support of Israel. How will the White House's response to all this impact relations in other countries across that region?
Well, that's a good question. The situation with Turkey, particularly, as you probably know, Turkey is still pretty upset at Biden for agreeing to recognize the 1915 Armenian genocide. So Erdogan has been mad at Biden for a while. But the bigger issue, though, is whether a number of countries who signed the Abraham Accords with Israel, whether they will start coming out and criticizing Israel and at the worst, breaking their relations with Israel. A number of Arab states and deals that were brokered but during the Trump administration have come out and supported Israel, at least in saying that they are now willing to do business with Israel. The question now is whether or not we're going to see some of those countries backing down. We haven't seen it yet, but that's something that a number of us will be looking.
We'll see if that changes. John, the UN has warned that the territory's sole power station is at risk of running out of fuel. If the fighting does not stop, what will life look like for people in Gaza once they lose power?
It would be really grim, although I'm a little bit more optimistic because, as you know, part of Gaza borders Egypt, and Egypt has been deeply engaged in these talks to help broker some kind of ceasefire. And Israel has come to the support and aid of Gaza in the past and Hamas and people in the Gaza Strip. So my sense is that Egypt will allow some fuel to get coming in from Egypt before it gets to the point where there's absolutely no power there.
A major overarching question that I'm hearing from so many is why did the Israeli-Palestinian conflict explode after years of quiet? I mean, we know this has been going on for 7 decades, but to see this much violence right now, many wonder what prompted it.
For some people had thought that we would have seen this violence after Trump moved the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem. We didn't see it, but there's been this powder keg that actually has been growing in the region there for a long time. What has happened in the last couple of weeks has to do with many Palestinians who are living in East Jerusalem. They had been living there since 1972, and they were being forced out by Israelis. And after at the end of the holy month of Ramadan, one of the celebrations, there were a number of, fight back and forth between the settlers and the Palestinians who lived there. And as a result, because of that, it sort of blew up. And since then, we have seen Hamas firing rockets into Israel and Israel responding by into the West Bank, into Gaza.
Devastating and deadly conflict that is getting worse by the day. And new tonight, John, House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair sending a letter to the president requesting a delay of about $735 million in precision-guided missiles to Israel. So the situation gets even more interesting, and we will continue to follow it closely. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Rob.
Meantime, tonight, the U.S. will share about 20 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines around the world in the next 6 weeks. It's going to be the first time that U.S.-controlled doses of Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson will be shared overseas. President Biden made that announcement today, but did not say exactly which countries will get the shots. So far, the U.S. has shared about 4.5 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine with Canada and Mexico. That vaccine is not yet authorized for use here in the U.S. And with tourism now starting to return, travelers are finding ride options are more limited and, more expensive as well. But there's one traditional means of travel that may be making a comeback.
Busy night in weather with active tornado warnings right now in West Texas, including a tornado on the ground near Sterling City, Texas. Also, the city of Lubbock now under a tornado warning. We'll talk about this and severe weather threat for the remainder of the week coming up.
And Doug.
Hey, Limu. How great is it that we get to tell everybody how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance? So you only pay for what you need. I mean, oh, sorry. Whoops. Meow, good evening. Oh, meow. Nope. Oh, what? I'm an emu. No, buddy. Buddy, it's a filter. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
OnStar, we see them.
Okay, mother and child in vehicle. Mother is unable to exit the vehicle. Injuries are unknown.
Thank you, OnStar.
My son, is he okay?
Your son's fine.
Thank you. There's something in the road.
It's okay, you're safe now.
Hi, I'm Deborah. I'm from Colorado. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for 35 years. I'm a mother of 4, always busy. I was starting to feel a little foggy. I just didn't feel like things were as sharp as I knew they once were. I heard about Prevagen, and then I started taking it about 2 years now. Started noticing, seemed a little sharper, a little clearer, and I feel like it's kept me on my game. I am able to remember things and say, give it a try.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Feeling sluggish or weighed down? It could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best. Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil psyllium fiber gels to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. It also helps lower cholesterol and slows sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. So you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil. Support your daily digestive health. And try Metamucil Fiber Thins. A great tasting and easy way to start your day.
I got a lot of advice about my abdominal pain, diarrhea, and constipation.
High fiber diet.
Low fiber diet.
Go gluten-free. None of it worked. Then I found New Culturelle IBS Complete Support. And now I have more symptom-free days.
I don't just play someone brainy on TV. I'm an actual neuroscientist, and I love the science behind Neuriva Plus. Unlike ordinary memory supplements, Neuriva Plus fuels 6 key indicators of brain performance. More brain performance, yes please. Neuriva, think bigger.
You have to put your health and wellness first, or you can't do anything else.
I've lost 91 pounds. I'm living proof that WW works.
You're going to see success. You're going to see results.
See why we're ranked #1 for weight loss. Get ready for summer with 3 months free.
At VisionWorks, we want you to feel safe. And we want you to see yourself in your new glasses and think, ooh. But if you get home and your ooh is more of a you have 100 days to change your mind. That's the VisionWorks difference. VisionWorks, see the difference.
And stand-up comedian Gilbert Gottfried, tonight on Banfield.
Welcome! It's time to see which chew is best in show for long-lasting flea and tick protection. We may be here for weeks, or even months. Holy smokes! A rejection and protection at week 5. But Brevecto just won't quit. Let's hear from our veterinarian expert.
Brevecto's our clear winner. 12 weeks of powerful protection, nearly 3 times longer than any other chew.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Bravo, Bravecto. Bravo.
Well, if you are trying to run errands or find a parking space, you may have noticed traffic is returning in the post-pandemic new normal, and it may be more expensive as well to catch a ride.
And NewsNation correspondent Adrian Banger joining us now with why the industry is still struggling to keep up, and some are trying to reimagine the industry altogether.
Yes, good evening to you, Rob and Marnie. You might have noticed the higher fares the last time you ordered a ride using an app. I mean, it does make life easier, but according to experts, there are fewer drivers behind the wheel of these services, and while cabs have long struggled with an ever-evolving industry, there are fewer of them, too, due to the pandemic. Now, though the traditional taxi could be making a comeback, we look at how that might affect you as we enter summer travel season.
More are considering vacation in some of the nation's biggest cities, but there appear to be fewer rideshare and taxi drivers on the road as passengers return to public life. In the city of Chicago, we called the union representing cab drivers. Only 880 taxis are currently operating. That's compared to over 3,000 in 2019. In Las Vegas, one taxi company says there have been so many tourists and not enough cars, leading people to call for cabs.
We've been getting a lot of calls due to rideshare not being there for the public. Tourists are coming back. Locals are on the move.
That's after as much as a 65% drop in monthly trips year over year. Now they're having a hard time rehiring drivers.
Demand is going up and the drivers are not there. A lot of them we couldn't find them. They just disappeared. And a lot of drivers that are still scared.
Scared in part of getting sick. That's according to those we talked to. Others are still able to collect unemployment. It's supply and demand, according to Northwestern University's Transportation Center. So they say it's not surprising that in some cities, fares are more expensive. An attorney who represents a number of taxi drivers in Chicago says that riders who've exclusively used apps might just find it more affordable to hail a cab.
The cab driver can only charge so much. Some of the impacts of not having a taxi industry, what we're seeing is Ubers and Lyfts charging, $60 a ride for a 2-mile transportation ride in the city of Chicago. A lot of people are not going to realize that once this cab industry is gone, there is no regulated fare anymore. Uber and Lyft can charge whatever they want.
In New York City, synonymous with the iconic yellow cab, one company is hoping a partnership will lead to a kinder, cleaner, and more consistently priced ride. Gravity Inc. is looking to pilot a program with zero-emission Tesla models with advanced technology to help transform the 100-year-old brand.
We can bring to the New York yellow taxi not just a catch-up innovation, but a step forward innovation, both in terms of the car, the business model. Obviously, yellow taxis are unique in that they can be street hailed, but we can also connect them to an app and they can be booked that way. I think when you get into our cabin, you're going to control the cabin completely with our technology and with our screens. And so the experience will really start getting tailored to the user.
And CEO Moshe Cohen says the rides will be fairly priced.
You're going to get a very predictable yellow taxi price.
That's nice. We actually like predictability. Cohen says that they're going through their final approvals with the city of New York now with hopes the pilot program can start on time. Now, we reached out to city officials in New York. We didn't get a response tonight. We also reached out to Uber and Lyft. No response there. But it is exciting and hopeful that there are discussions around how to treat drivers and passengers more fairly.
New way of thinking in every aspect of life.
Another
novel idea.
Post-COVID life. Here we go, right? Another
Thanks,
effect.
Adrian.
Thank you.
All right, let's send it over to Albert. What's going on tonight?
It is a busy night across the southern plains. We have active tornado warnings and also severe weather warnings right now, especially in Texas, but active tornado warnings south of Baton Rouge in Louisiana with thunderstorms producing also some very heavy rainfall. Take a look at all of the active warnings in the Texas Panhandle into West Texas. Lubbock under a tornado warning right now. A storm moving into Lubbock capable of producing tennis ball size hail and storm chasers following a tornado on the ground in northern Sterling County, Texas. That storm moving off to the east. We have active tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches from South Texas stretching all the way northward into southeastern areas of Colorado, and flash flood concerns not just tonight but through the middle part of the week. Portions of central and north Texas could pick up 6 to 10 inches of rainfall over the next several days. Here's a look at the future radar as we roll through tonight into early tomorrow morning. The heavy rain continues. The severe weather threat continues for tomorrow. For portions of central Texas to northeast Texas, isolated tornadoes, large hail damaging winds will be a possibility even into Tuesday, Rob.
All right, Albert, thank you very much. A rising star in the NFL finds a new home. More on the historic hire, believed to be the highest-ranking female scouting executive ever.
You deserve a car that thrills you. A car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. This is the new Nissan.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means grabbing a hold of what matters, asking for what we want and need. And we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Living longer is possible and proven with Kisqali when taken with fulvestrant or a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor in HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is approved for both pre- and post-menopausal women and has extended lives in multiple clinical trials. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant, or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Kisqali is not approved for use with tamoxifen. It's our time for more time. We asked for Kisqali. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
What makes new Salonpas Arthritis Gel so good for arthritis pain? Salonpas contains the most prescribed topical pain relief ingredient. It's clinically proven, reduces inflammation, and comes in original prescription strength. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
You have to put your health and wellness first or you can't do anything else.
I'm living proof that WW works. I've lost 91 pounds.
I've lost 54 pounds on WW.
WW, weight loss that works, wellness that works. Get ready for summer with 3 months free.
I got a lot of advice about my abdominal pain, diarrhea, and constipation.
High fiber diet.
Low fiber diet.
Go gluten-free!
None of it worked. Then I found New Culturelle IBS Complete Support. And now I have more symptom-free days.
Is your cleanser doing enough for your sensitive skin? Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser defends against 5 signs of skin sensitivity and actively hydrates as it cleanses. Cetaphil, dermatologist recommended complete care for your sensitive skin.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. Call right now for your free book. And as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched over 1,200 annuities and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from financially strong insurers. Again, that's Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free, for calling Annuity General today. Supplies are limited. Call now.
Call 800-310-4200. That's 800-310-4200.
Trainer Bob Baffert has been temporarily suspended from entering horses in any upcoming New York races. The suspension is due in part to Medina Spirit testing positive for steroids after the Kentucky Derby. The trainer's attorney says they are reviewing the decision by the New York Racing Association. Over the past 13 months, Baffert has been fined in Kentucky and Arkansas after banned medications were found in his horses.
A pretty historic moment for the Denver Broncos franchise. Today, the Broncos announced that Kelly Klein has been named Executive Director of Football Operations. ESPN's Adam Schefter said Klein is now believed to be the highest-ranking woman scouting executive with an NFL franchise. She's going to serve as the primary liaison for football operations and also maintain oversight with both pro and college scouting. Klein will also serve as special advisor to the general manager. Next season will be her 10th in the NFL. She spent the last 9 with the Minnesota Vikings. Nice.
Well, another sign that things are starting to return to normal. travel is picking up.
Of course.
Once again in the U.S., we've got another weekend of record travel across the country during the pandemic, but more passengers combined with fewer flights and staffing shortages, leading to some issues at some airports around the country. That's next.
And those last-minute filers had to get their taxes in the mail today, but we're going to tell you why it's the folks behind us at the IRS feeling the pressure, why they say they cannot hold millionaires and corporations accountable. That's coming up.
This week on Banfield, he was the director of the CIA, the Secretary of Defense, and the White House Chief of Staff. Now, Leon Panetta joins Ashley.
We're going to do something you don't see too much these days. Have a conversation.
Banfield, all this week at 10/9 Central on NewsNation.
Mold Armor, Mold Armor.
Kills mold and mildew and cleans your home's exterior in minutes. Mold Armor's easy-to-use formula combines with a powerful sprayer to remove stains without scrubbing and kill mold and mildew.
Mold Armor, Mold Armor.
For Deb, living with constipation with belly pain was the same old story for years. Trying this, doing that, spending countless days right here. Still came the belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. Awful feelings she kept sugarcoating. Finally, with the help of her doctor, it came to be that her symptoms were all signs of IBS-C. And that's why she said yes to adding Linzess. Linzess is not a laxative. It helps you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and is proven to help relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Could your story also be about IBS-C? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess.
At VisionWorks, we want you to feel safe. And we want you to see yourself in your new glasses and think, ooh. But if you get home and your ooh is more of a you have 100 days to change your mind. That's the VisionWorks difference. VisionWorks, see the difference.
You have to put your health and wellness first or you can't do anything else.
I've lost 91 pounds. I'm living proof that WW works.
You're going to see success. You're going to see results.
See why we're ranked #1 for weight loss. Get ready for summer with 3 months free.
New Cetaphil Deep Hydration Facial Collection delivers lasting 48-hour hydration, hyaluronic acid plus exclusive hydrosensitive complex. Replenish and soothe skin. Cetaphil, dermatologist recommended. Complete hydration for your sensitive skin.
A capsule a day visibly fades the dark spots away. New Neutrogena Rapid Tone Repair. 20% pure vitamin C. A serum so powerful, dark spots don't stand a chance. See what I mean? Neutrogena.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because as a fiduciary, it's our responsibility to always put clients first.
So you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. We help clients enjoy a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
One that we don't take lightly. It's why our fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. Fisher Investments is clearly different.
This was my first time using telemedicine, and I'd recommend this process to anyone.
The total experience was amazing. I couldn't be happier with the product.
Your consultation is free. There's no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. Visit RexMD.com right now.
Tonight, known for his unmistakable voice, crude jokes, and a career that spans 50 years, stand-up comedian Gilbert Gottfried. Banfield, tonight at 10/9 Central on NewsNation.
It's all turned upside down because, people, like the IRS is kind of a boogeyman, right?
The IRS sounding the alarm. NewsNation investigates why the government is losing an estimated $1 trillion in unpaid taxes every year. Plus, turbulence for some of the nation's busiest airports, bracing for a record number of passengers this summer. And thank you for joining us tonight on NewsNation Prime. I'm Marnie Hughes.
And I'm Rob Nelson. The deadline might have been delayed by a month, but a whole lot of people still are waiting till the last minute to do their taxes. And now the clock is ticking toward midnight.
The procrastinators. And as that deadline looms, the IRS is sounding the alarm on a different concern. The agency says $1 trillion in tax money went uncollected last year. And in recent years, audits and enforcement have plummeted, especially for the wealthy. NewsNation's Joe Khalil is live for us in Washington, D.C. tonight to explain. Joe.
Yeah, you know, when we think of the IRS, we typically don't think of them as David. We think of them as the Goliath, right? But in the past 10 years or so, the IRS says that their budget has been cut by about a quarter. They've lost a lot of the agents that used to do enforcement, especially on powerful people and corporations. They're not nearly seeing the number of audits that they used to see. And the data now and the tax revenue coming in certainly reflects that. The Mississippi Delta, home to some of the poorest communities in the country, and its population is more likely to be audited than anywhere else in the U.S., according to IRS data analyzed by ProPublica.
I think we all just kind of walk around with an innate fear of the IRS.
Most Americans never get the dreaded "you're being audited" letter, but those who do are most likely remarkably rich or live in poverty. Attorney Ben Wilkerson represents the latter group.
For whatever reason, don't have the time or the resources or just the will to fight back against the IRS.
Many there qualify for what's known as the Earned Income Tax Credit, a break for low-income workers. The program gets extra scrutiny from the IRS. And while most who benefit don't have the money to fight the government,
on the other hand, wealthy and big corporations have access to very sophisticated tax lawyers and tax advisors.
Janet Holzblatt with the Tax Policy Center says corporations are nearly 4 times as likely to fight back and win against the IRS than regular earners.
The IRS is kind of a boogeyman, right? But for the very rich and for corporations, the IRS is afraid of them.
All told, the government is losing an estimated $1 trillion in unpaid taxes every year, according to the IRS commissioner. That's enough to cover the entire budget deficit for 2019, the last pre-pandemic year. One reason for the gap in unpaid taxes? Dramatic cuts to the IRS. The number of agents is down 43% in the last 10 years, according to a study by Syracuse University. As a result, while the number of millionaires in the U.S. has doubled since 2012, the number of millionaires audited decreased by 72%. And it's the same pattern for big business. In 2012, 93% of major corporations were audited, compared to just 38% last year. In a statement to NewsNation, IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig says his agency needs help. Quote, the IRS requires more resources to conduct investigations into underreported income and to pursue high-income taxpayers who evade their tax liability through complex schemes. Now, President Biden's asking Congress for $80 billion to beef up enforcement. It's a proposal with bipartisan support on Capitol Hill.
1% of the taxpayers, 36% of the unpaid taxes. Most Americans pay what they owe, meaning that they cover for the tax cheats through higher taxes, fewer public services.
I'm certainly open to increasing the IRS's budget to allow the agency to pursue those who are avoiding paying their taxes.
So you just heard there a Democrat and a Republican both at least support the idea in theory. The Biden administration, as we mentioned, floated the number of $80 billion as an investment. Republicans were concerned a couple of years ago that the IRS was unfairly looking into some conservative nonprofits. So from Republicans we've heard from, they want to make sure that's not happening before they would commit to making that investment. But certainly the idea does have bipartisan support. Marnie?
Joe, and before we let you go, I want to talk about the child tax credit. About 39 million Americans set to receive that monthly payment for their kids starting July 15th. What's most important for parents to know tonight?
So what you would basically receive right into your account through direct deposit for most people would be a $300 check per month for children who are under 6 years old, and a $250 check after that for older children. It's important to know that that goes up through December and then it ends. Democrats are pushing to make that more permanent. They wanted to extend it through 2025. Doing that is actually in part of the infrastructure package that the White House has introduced. So if that becomes law, this package for children would be extended. Democrats are also talking about potentially extending it by itself, but we'll have to see if they can get bipartisan support for that. Marnie.
All right, Joe Cleo live in D.C. Thank you.